Hello everyone, good morning. I just woke up about 30 minutes ago and I saw some crazy things happening in the market. So I decided to go live and share my thoughts, opinion, create a space for you guys to ask questions as well as how I'm going to handle the situation and what I'll be doing right now. So there's a lot going on in the market right now. The market is clearly reacting to something, some kind of fraud, and it's quite interesting to see. Bitcoin is down back to lower than 26K. Cardano, Polygon Matic, and some others are less than 30% on the weekly. So lots of interesting things going on in the market. Some people, is this the right time to be buying? Should you be buying the dip or should you wait? Because there seems to be something major looming around the corner every other day. Is the weekend going to be more bloody? How is the next week going to be? So we are dealing with money here. We don't like to lose money. We want to make as much as we can. And there's a lot going on, and I decided to create this space to get everyone up to speed as well as how to handle this situation. So it's good to see every single one of you. Rusmita, a real pleasure. Amadou Kefadin, thank you so much for joining me here today. KK Fisnik, I'm sure it's very late over there, so I really appreciate you being on my live stream here today. And Muhammad Sajad, thank you so much for joining me into this live stream. So, a quick view. Yesterday, I made a poll on my community post. I was asking about how much the USA has an influence in the crypto space. And I said this for a reason because I've noticed a lot of influence that US news seems to have on the crypto space, especially when it comes to the SEC. So, should the US keep influencing crypto? And clearly, this is more than just news right now. It's more than just the SEC. The way the market is moving is clear that it's more than just people reacting to the US news. It's obvious that there's also a lot of liquidity from the American side in the crypto space. I mean, if you take a look at what's happening right now, one of the main reasons why there's so much panic in the market right now is fraud from Robinhood delisting Cardano, Polygon, and Solana tokens. So it's quite confusing. Like, who is buying crypto using Robinhood? I mean, it's got to be it's an American exchange mainly for stocks and stuff like that. So the fact that Robinhood delisting Cardano, Polygon, Solana is affecting the crypto space so much. It's causing such a massive dump when it comes to cryptos, when it comes to Cardano, means there was a lot of money there right now, and a lot of Americans are selling it because they really don't have a choice. And that brings me back to this poll right here. It's quite interesting to see how much money is coming from the American market and how we are going to move forward in the crypto space. Because whether we like it or not, there's this influence that we have to take into account. We have to take more consideration about how American policies will affect the crypto space. And this brings me to a narrative that I have been literally talking about way before anyone else for months now. You can go check my live stream for like 3 months now. I've been saying pay close attention to regulatory compliance cryptos. This is going to be a new narrative that will come up. Projects that will move forward with regulatory compliance in mind will tend to have bonus points because there will be more resistance to fraud. And projects like Quant, and I've been seeing projects that are going to have this resistance to fraud will do well. And this narrative, I think, is going to be very important because we are at a very critical stage in the crypto space right now. We are literally going to see the top 10 crypto projects reshuffle. So over my Telegram, a good friend of my Fisnik says this is going to be an opportunity. We're in a very interesting stage in the crypto space right now. So a very big opportunity is on the horizon right now. However, you really need to pick the right cryptos, or else, because if you pick the wrong ones with what's happening in reshuffling, the top can literally go to the bottom in a few moments. And we can sorry, I'm just waking up. And we can see a lot of underdogs rising up quickly. I mean, look, Litecoin is in the top 10 right now. Why? Because I've been saying there are few projects that are going to be like Bitcoin. There are few projects that are going to be commodities, not securities. There's no doubt Litecoin is going to be among projects like that. So for those people that kept hating on Litecoin, well, there you go. Cardano down 35% on the weekly. That's crazy. Polygon Matic has lost its position in the top 10 spots. That gives a very interesting perspective on some projects. Start paying attention to projects that will fill the void left by Polygon Matic. If Polygon Matic is considered a security, what would be an alternative? What would be the next layer two? Because we need a layer two. If the number two crypto, the second largest crypto, is going to be adopted, is going to be used, we need it to be scalable. So we need a good layer two solution. If Polygon is not going to cut the cake, then we're going to need something else. Now I'm interested in Arbitrum. I'm interested in optimism. Start paying attention to projects that can fill up the void in this battle, in this new battle for the top spots. So I think it's very interesting, what's happening in the crypto space right now. I think there's a lot of new orders to be filled. There's a lot of new shoes to be filled. And what I'm going to say regarding, all of the crazes in the crypto market right now is pay attention to this new narrative that is coming up. Pay attention to regulatory compliance cryptos. I think that is going to be a new narrative that is going to be very, very bullish. So projects like Bitcoin, projects like Polkadot, projects like Quant, projects like IOTA, those projects will do well. I'm also going to be sharing some low caps that will take strong advantage of regulatory compliance cryptos. So that's going to be my next video today. Ones that will be very bullish on all of the news that is coming out right now, because there's a lot of blood on the market right now. So that brings me to the next and perhaps the most important point in today's live stream. Should you be buying right now? Let me bring that up. Should you be buying right now? Because it's easy to sorry, that's supposed to be a question mark, not an exclamation point. It's easy to think now is a good time to be buying a lot of projects because it's on sale, right? And you want to buy some of these projects at discounts. So what I'll say to that is, right now, for me, I'm not buying. And hear me out, don't panic yet. Why am I not buying? Especially since there's a lot of red and I like to buy on the dips. I always encourage to buy on the dips. Well, that's because I bought last week. This isn't the first time that Bitcoin is coming down at 25, lower than 26K. Literally last week, Bitcoin was on 25,500. So I always tell people to have targets and respect the targets. This isn't the first time Bitcoin is coming down. You can see here on the charts, Bitcoin came down last week to 25,500, and people missed that opportunity. I was able to buy in this region because I have targets. I have my targets. Literally, I put it on the Patreon charts. I have targets at 25K. I have targets at 22K, and I have targets lower than 20K. Those are the targets that I'm going to be buying Bitcoin. Whenever there's a new development, whenever there's fraud, try as much as possible, please, not to react so emotionally to it, because it's always best at times to wait for a confirmation. The smartest traders wait for confirmations before making some kind of move. You see the markets moves very quickly. The markets are extremely volatile, and there's nothing wrong with getting 80% instead of 100%. You can wait for the market to consolidate, to level out. Trying to catch a falling knife in crypto is extremely dangerous. Please, I don't do leverage trading, but I know some of you do. Be smart about it. You have to be really careful about jumping on every single major move in the markets, trying to short, trying to long, trying to make as much as quick cash as you can. I know there are people out there that are able to do it. There are people like Army Piper that are experts in technical analysis, but I'm not, and I'm willing to bet a lot of you aren't experts at technical analysis as well. So how do we approach situation? How do regular folks like you and I approach such volatility in the markets? Well, you don't need to panic. You don't need to react so emotionally to the markets like this. True, there are a lot of cryptos at a discount right now, but it makes more sense, let it recover. If the market starts to go up, oh, the market's moved up 10%. Are you really going to lose $500, $200 because you're trying to get 10% pumps? Doesn't really make much sense. So the market is extremely volatile. There's a lot of uncertainty in the market, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with waiting a bit to see how things play out. That's the safest and smartest thing to do in situations like this. So I was able to buy last week when it dipped, and I think that's the approach I like to encourage people to have targets, have prices that you are willing to DCA in, and have targets that you are willing to take some profits at. It's not immediately, I mean, if it's the first time, like take for example, if Bitcoin literally didn't go down to be lower than 25,700 last week. If this was the first time, it's extremely close to the targets. You can decide, okay, now might be a good time to DCA. But it's not every single time that the market dips that you buy the dip. Because what if the market keeps dipping? I mean, that's the classic luck a lot of us have in crypto. You buy the dip, but it keeps dipping. That's why it's good to have targets and respect those targets. If it dips, if it gets to a level you're comfortable buying, sure, you can buy it. But if it dips some more, you need to calm down a bit. It doesn't mean every single time the market dips, you buy it. It dips once, you buy, you hold on. It can dip again, you hold on until it gets to another target. So, depending on the targets you set, I would ask you to respect those targets. I'll ask you to, man, BNB is sticking a real spanking right now, 236. Okay, I'll ask you to respect those targets and buy it at those levels. You try as much as possible not to react so emotionally to the crypto space. So what are some of the projects that I will be buying at major dips, at targets? What are some targets that I've set for myself? Well, let me just tell you the projects I'm eyeing right now. And for the low caps, I'm going to leave that for the patron. There are some super duper bullish low caps that you should be buying, because guys, a lot of people are scared of mentioning crypto because, like I said earlier, we are dealing with money. You don't want to be losing money. But the reality is, most of the people in crypto right now that are millionaires, most of the people in crypto right now that are rich, took this risk of buying low caps. There's no two way about it. If you really want to make money in crypto, if you want to be rich, you have to be buying some low caps. Those are the ones that will give you 100x, 1,000x. They are the ones that can give you life-changing gains. All of the top cryptos you are seeing right now, they were low caps that people were willing to buy, when the market cap was about 10 million, when the market cap was less than 10 million. That's where you make a lot of cash. So those are the projects I'll be sharing for the Patreon. But there's still good gains to be made with high caps and mid cap gems as well. I mean, the thing about being a gem hunter, the thing about being in the crypto space is knowing that you can still make a lot of money, you can still make good returns with high caps. Even though the top coins right now seem to be risky, there's literally a reshuffling of the top 10 right now. We're at an epic moment in the crypto space. There's still good, I'm still willing to bet on some high caps that will take good advantage of all of the commotions. And so I'm a big fan of this kind of chaos for the top projects. I think there's going to be interesting reshuffling. For those of you who are just coming right now, I said right now I'm paying close attention to projects that will fill the void for for Polygon Matic, because we are going to need a new layer 2 solution. Right now, I've always said Arbitrum, I'm going to show interest in Arbitrum if it goes less than $1. And I'm hoping Arbitrum keeps dipping, because now I'm going to start paying more attention to it. Polygon Matic is losing favor with the market. I don't know how they are going to be able to recover. They've literally lost their spots in the top 10. So there's going to be a battle for a project that will fill that void. There's going to be a battle for a project that will be the next best layer 2 solution. So pay attention to Arbitrum, pay attention to optimism, pay attention to layer 2 solutions that can fill that void. The top projects are giving you some opportunities. And as always, I think quants will do well, because this new narrative, a narrative I've been talking about for months, way before everyone else, is popping up, and those are regulatory compliance cryptos. Pay attention to projects, that narrative, projects that will move forward, being regulatory friendly. It doesn't really mean these projects are not securities per se, but what it means is they might projects that recognize their position and move forward, with the SEC in mind, and they're all open. So, the SEC is really, really raining on our parade in the crypto space right now, and yeah, that's painful. So I don't know. Aptos down 30%. That's crazy, man. Quant, what else? IOTA. I think IOTA is good. Algorand is freaking is on a steal right now. I'm so surprised to see Algorand this low. I mean, Algorand was on par with HBAR, but HBAR right now is winning that Algorand versus HBAR debate. So Algorand, Quant, HBAR, IOTA. Where's IOTA right now? Projects that are going to be regulatory compliant, I think those ones will do very well. Then there's Cardina. I think I'm not I have no idea. It's really surprising that Cardinal would be this much affected by SEC and fraud regulation. Why? Because Cardinal is a proof of work crypto, and those are usually projects that are run by the public, from mining. So seeing Cardinal this slow, I really it's funny, because let me share this tab. It's funny because I really think Cardinal has a lot of long-term potential. Right now, Cardinal is sitting at the market cap, is beginning to leave his mid-cap category status, approaching low cap category. For me, anything less than 100 million, about 90 million or so, is a low cap. So Cardinal right now is $125 million in market cap. Is really, really bearish, and is one of the best proof of work crypto projects out there. I think Cardinal is on a dip right now, so it's approaching one of the targets of mine. Anything less than 0.5, then I will consider DCing some more into Cardinal. So um that's another project that I'm paying attention to. And yes, very solid advice here from Fisnik. Always dollar cost average, don't go all in. I mean, that's the point of buying the dip. You don't just buy it all at once. You buy some, you get some exposure to it, and then if it dips some more, you wait for your next target. You buy it and you lower your overall average. And if it goes up, then it's all well and good. You're able to buy, at a good opportunity, and make some gains on the dip. So yeah, the market is really, really is really, really taking a dump right now. And I think that's what I have to say. So for those of you who don't know, Robinhood delisting Cardano, Polygon, Solana is really crazy on the market right now. Crypto assets, ADA, Matic, and Solana will be delisted from Robinhood by June 27th. So whether or not you like it, if you still have these projects, Ada, not Adam, if you have these projects, they will be sold for you automatically on the 27th. There's no way around it. And it's really interesting. I think we need to start paying more attention to the influence of the USA on the markets. It's quite interesting how much power the buyers in the US have on the entire crypto space. And yeah, I'm going to start addressing the comments now. If you guys have any comments, if you have any opinions on what's happening, how you're approaching the situations, and any way I can contribute to it, be sure to put it in the comments. This was just a quick live stream to let you guys know what's going on and how I'm approaching it, and some projects that I think have good potential in what's going to turn up, in what's going to happen in the end of this market. We are literally seeing a reshuffling of the top 10. I think there's going to be a strong race for the next best layer 2, that will compete with Polygon Matic. I'm beginning to show interest in Arbitrum. I'm going to be accumulating Arbitrum. I'm going to get some exposure. I've not bought some Arbitrum, but I'm going to get some exposure to Arbitrum if it hits that dollar point, and if it goes less than the dollar point. So yeah, maybe today, who knows? So I think the narrative that I've been talking about, regulatory compliance crypto, I think that narrative is going to be big in the markets, especially with the way the crypto space is approaching. So yeah, that's all I have to say. I can't keep going on right now. BNB is getting wrecked. If you guys have any questions, I'll be happy to take them now. If not, well, what I would say, my final take on today's live stream will be, don't panic, don't rush to always buy the dip. I've already bought the dip. If you were buying the dip, then last week you should have bought some Bitcoin when it was on 25,500, around that price. Bitcoin hitting these prices again doesn't mean you should buy it again. Sometimes the smartest thing to do is to wait a bit for the markets to make its decision before moving. You don't want to always time the bottom perfectly. You will never be able to do that. So the smartest thing to do is to dollar cost average whenever you see the opportunities. Nobody on earth is ever going to be able to time the bottom perfectly. So if you hadn't done so already, if 25k range is your target, well, the target is close again. So buy at targets, dollar cost average at targets. You don't have to buy every single time the market dips. You don't have to react every single time, because if you keep doing that, you're going to end up getting wrecked. So be very careful out there right now. That's all I have to say. I just got up. Pay very close attention. I'm going to be sharing some low caps today, some low caps that would make major gains on what's happening in the markets. So pay attention to my video today. I'm really bullish on some projects. Some of them you guys know, some of them are brand new and fresh that will absolutely explode. So look forward to that. Maybe 4 p.m. UK time or so. I'm going to upload a video on some massive low cap gems. I'll take advantage of all of this. Thank you so much for joining me in today's live stream. I'm going to go take some breakfast now. Make sure you have a wonderful weekend despite all of the craziness in the markets. Be sure to enjoy yourself. Stay safe and take care, guys. Bye-bye.